It's a G life, swerving in a G ride. Who bang, homie, clutching on the 4-5. Don't ever slip, cause you do, boy, that lead flies. Cause at the bottom we stay hunting in that moonlight. You hear the click, you hear the bang when we pass by. This ain't a game fool, the riders really earn stripe. That's on the gang fool, forever on that main line. And it's a thin line, so homie better act right. We keep it active, really active up on this side. You hear the whistle as they're throwing up their gas signs. The crime rate in the hood always stays high. Banging for the vital, trucha for the one time. We stay posted, drinking till the sunrise. We stay posted, drinking till the sunrise. It's that G life, swerving in the G ride. Who bang, homie, clutching on that 4-5. Don't ever slip, cause you do, boy, that lead flies. Cause at the bottom.
G-File.
Alright, now starting off right here in South Los Angeles, we have one of the more larger neighborhoods in South Central, you know what I mean? Because this neighborhood is definitely large, you feel me? And it's an old school neighborhood. We have the Vital South Los. Now, Vital South Los is a pretty large neighborhood. It has already been right here for a cool minute. This neighborhood, I was told, was established already since the 60s. Is what I was told, that when this barrio, was around doing their thing. So they already been right here for a cool minute, you know what I mean? One of these old neighborhoods that's coming out of South Central, you feel me? These guys are definitely with the business. They're definitely heavily rooted into the community. You know, these guys ain't no chumps, ain't no pushovers, you know what I mean? These guys are definitely with the business and get it cracking in that, you know? Just like that. Now, the Barrio South Los does have a pretty large chunk of territory right there in South Los Angeles. Now, they're located between Central Avenue and Vermont, all the way to Westmount. So on the west side, so everything that's between there is considered like their neighborhood. Their main dojo, their main hanging out spot is on 111th Street. That's like their home base, right? That's their main domain. That's already when you in the danger zone. You feel me? 111th Street is definitely where they be doing their thing. As a matter of fact, there's a reason why it's like one of their clicas. You know what I mean? That's why you see it written up like that. That's because it's definitely the home domain for those guys. And like I said, these guys are definitely with the business, homie. One of the more larger neighborhoods right here. And they give law enforcement a hard time. They made the news several times, already being hit with all these fucking motions and sweeps. And it seems like this is another neighborhood that it seems that no matter what the law enforcement throws at it, they can't seem to slow them down, man. You know what I mean? That's just how these guys get down, you know what I'm saying? And they definitely be going at it with a lot of neighborhoods over there, a lot of black neighborhoods as well. But to this day, they're still, holding it down, strong as ever. Not only that, but these guys are not just located right here in South Central. They're in San Diego. They're in different cities. They're in different states, I was told. I was told that they even have homies that are in Washington and Seattle. That they have homies in Utah. So these guys have homies, spread out to different locations. It's just not right here in South Central. And they are one united neighborhood, one, in the same. So this neighborhood, like I said, is just definitely is a large neighborhood. It's one of the neighborhoods that spread like wildfire, and continue to function in that way. But that's what's up with the Barrio South Los, still holding it down and representing for theirs. But that's what's up with theirs right there. All right, now here in South Central, you also have the Barrio HF. Now the Barrio HF stands for Hoodlum Family. Now the Hoodlum Family is a neighborhood right here in South Central. That used to be a tagging crew, but that became a neighborhood. And I'm not sure. I know that there's a few hoodlums neighborhoods. I'm not sure if they're all connected or if they're their own individual neighborhoods. You feel me? Because I know that there's one in Watts. I know that there's one in Van Nuys. So there is several hoodlum neighborhoods. But as I know of, I don't know if they're all connected. But the HF neighborhood is roughly a smaller neighborhood right here in South Central. They're located right here in the 50s, so you can find them on 55th, on 57, throughout this area. You know what I mean? Going at it with the surrounding neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how it's just jam-packed full of neighborhoods right there. You're gonna have their tensions and beefs. And even though this neighborhood is not as large, you know what I mean? Because it's roughly smaller. Because obviously they're not that old school, have only been around since the late 90s, early 2000s. you see a lot of activity from these guys. You know what I mean? You see a lot of graffiti. These guys do tend to write a lot, and you do hear about them. You know what I mean? For it being roughly a new neighborhood and roughly small, you do see them up, and you do hear about these guys. That's for sure. You know what I mean? So they definitely be doing their thing right there and holding it down for their side and representing for their barrio. You know what I mean? But that's what's up with the Hoodlum family right there, representing in South Central and holding it down for their side. Another neighborhood that you have right here in South Central by Westmount is the Barrio Junior Mafia. Now, the Barrio Junior Mafia is a neighborhood right here in South Central that's definitely another one of these large neighborhoods that I talk about when we talk about this area. You know what I mean? Junior Mafia is definitely one of these neighborhoods that spread like wildfire. Now, you could find them was located right there on Westmount on 107th Street. Now, 107th Street is their main domain, their main dojo right there on Normandy and Vermont. So everything that's in the middle of like Normandy and Vermont is what's considered the Junior Mafia's neighborhood. And right down 107th Street is their main domain, their main dojo, their main hanging out spot. You feel me? Junior Mafia is one of these neighborhoods that's also spread out at different locations throughout Los Angeles, not just right here in this area. You know, they're by Imperial Highway as well. You can find them in Bell Gardens. That's another one where they have like a large presence. They're in the A18 Valley as well. This neighborhood is another one of these neighborhoods that's just located in different spots. And yes, they are one neighborhood. They are the same thing. You know what I mean? And this is another neighborhood where people get it confused. There's an Ali Locals gang that's located in the San Fernando Valley, and there is an Ali Locals over here that's a clica off of Junior Mafia. So it's not like it's Ali Locals is its own separate thing. Ali Locals is the name of the clique of these guys over here. That's why people get it confused and think there's an Ali Locals in Los Angeles, but that is just the clica that belongs to the Junior Mafia neighborhood. So it's not its own individual neighborhood. You know what I mean? That is the clica of theirs. You know what I mean? Because they do hang out in those back alleys. That is, why they're known as the Ali Locals. Clique. But the barrio is the Junior Mafia barrio. You feel me? And these guys are definitely with the business. They're large. One of these, larger neighborhoods out of South Central. Next to South Los. Hence why they, have, big time beef between both barrios. You know what I mean? When you have two powerhouses in the same area like that, you're gonna have, confrontations and collisions. You know what I mean? You guys are just not gonna see eye to eye, because, everyone's gonna think that they're the titan in the area. You feel me? But the Junior Mafia neighborhood has already been right here for a cool minute, roughly since the 80s, been right here, and continue to hold it down, like that, and representing for theirs and putting their barrio up on the map right there. But that's what's up with the Junior Mafia neighborhood. Here's another neighborhood right here in South Central that's roughly large and has spread out to different cities like Norwalk, Artesia, the A18, the Harbor area. You know what I mean? The Barrio NC, which, not to be confused with National City, the San Diego neighborhood. This NC stands for Barrio Nightcrawlers. Nightcrawlers is an old school clica. Has been around already since the 80s. You know what I mean? So it already has a well-timed being right here in this area. And I was told, this is what I was told, because like I said, they're located in different spots. I was told that they originated out of the South Central area. So this area is the original spot of theirs. So I was told, you feel me? And because, like I said, this is a much larger neighborhood. When we're talking about like putting it all together, because in each individual area, they're not as large, but as a whole, it is a much larger neighborhood. You feel me? The Nightcrawlers neighborhood is just not to be reckoned with. You feel me? Everywhere they go, you know what I mean? They tend to establish themselves. You know what I mean? They plant their flag and they hold it down. You know what I mean? These guys is not a neighborhood where people think that they could just push pushovers and stuff like that. I know that some people be clowning on the name and stuff like that because they said it sounds like a tiger name, whatever. But trust me, homie, do not ever get that twisted, homie. These vatos are with the business, homie, and they carry themselves like that, homie. You know what I mean? They definitely be riding in them nights and they'll let you have it. Like I said, this is one of the more larger neighborhoods out of this area, and they be holding it down like that. And still to this day, their numbers just tend to get bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? This is one of these neighborhoods that spreads like wildfire, and still be holding it down right there in that area, representing for South Central, and definitely putting their barrio up on the map. You feel me? But that's what's up with the Nightcrawlers neighborhood right there. Shout out to the homie Vandal out of Nightcrawlers. You know, firme camarada. Shout out to the homie Taz as well. Free the homie Taz, as a matter of fact. And shout out to all the homies from Nightcrawlers that be doing their thing. Also, right here in South Central, we have the Barrio 46th Street. Now, Barrio 46th Street, it has no connections to Barrio 40, 41st, 42nd, 43rd. None of those neighborhoods. It's its own neighborhood. Like I said, there's a lot of neighborhoods right here in the 40s, and 46, you know, is one of them. 46th Street is roughly a neighborhood that you roughly don't see up as much or hear about. You know what I mean? But they are active. They still hold it down right there. You know, they with the business. Their barrio is located right there on obviously on 46th Street, but on Normandy and 46 is where they're established, you know, where they be holding it down, keeping it G, you know what I mean? And they've been holding it down right there since the 80s is when this neighborhood was established, you feel me? And it, I would say 42nd is probably the biggest, and then it's probably 41st, then I would say it's 46, then it's 40. 40 is probably the smallest one. But nonetheless, you know, 46th Street be holding it down right here, representing for theirs and putting their barrio up on the map. But that's what's up with the barrio 46th Street right there, holding it down, you know, for their side.